Hello everyone, welcome to another video of revision of section 901 trigonometry, and these are three of the questions from the chapter revision. And so what I'm going to do is set you up and so you can finish them. So firstly, remember that the first step is to decide sine, cos or tan based on the three pieces of information that are given to you in the question. So what would have we got in the 1A? We've got an angle, and according to that angle there's the hypotenuse, which doesn't come into play, so it can't be sine or cos because both of them need the hypotenuse in the question. So it's got to be tan. Opposite, then that's opposite side there to the angle, and that's the adjacent side to the angle. So we'd have a tan question. And so we'll set it up first by writing it this way. The tan of 35 degrees is the opposite side, which is 7.6 meters, over the adjacent side, and that's the letter K. So we've got to find out what K equals. So when you've got the unknown in the bottom, in the denominator, you swap tan of 35 degrees with K, just swap them around, and you should be able to put that on a calculator to work out what it is. So tan of 35 goes in the denominator and K goes over here. Part B. Okay, three pieces of information. We have an angle, which is 73 degrees and 8 minutes. We have a side that is next to it, adjacent, and we have, that's opposite the right angle, so that's the hypotenuse. Adjacent and hypotenuse is cos. So it's a cos question. So the cos of 73 degrees 8 minutes equals the adjacent side, which is not known, over the hypotenuse, which is. And in this case, when the unknown is on the top, we need to multiply by the denominator both sides and end up with this. So I'm just multiplying cos of 73 degrees and 8 minutes by 15. And that will equal W. Part C. Okay, three pieces of information again. Angle, opposite the right angle is the hypotenuse, and opposite this angle is the opposite side. So we've got an opposite side and a hypotenuse. If the 9 centimeters was there, that's the adjacent side, but it's over here, which is opposite the angle, so it's called a sine question. So we put the sine of 51.2 degrees equals opposite side 9 over hypotenuse D. And again, when there's an unknown in the denominator, you swap the D with the sine of 51.2 degrees. So sine of 51.2 degrees becomes the denominator, and D goes over here. Now, just to show you on a calculator, a couple of things. Firstly, how to do 73 degrees 8 minutes. 73 degrees, so press the degree button, and then you type 8 for the 8 minutes and press the degree button again. That's 73 degrees 8 minutes. 73 degrees 8 minutes, no seconds. And you can also then do 51.2 degrees. That's easy. Shouldn't need to show you how to do that. So that's question 1. Question 2, A. This time we're finding the angle. So the last step is tan or sine or cos to the -1. So you press shift. So let's do it quick here. 3 pieces. This is the angle we need to find. That's the first piece of information. We've got an adjacent side to the angle, no hypotenuse, so it's tan. Opposite, adjacent. So it's tan of theta, that's that sine theta, is opposite 15 over 7. And then on the calculator step, you press shift, tan, and then put this fraction in the brackets, 15 over 7. And press equals. And that'll give you the angle. So it'll be tan to -1 theta, which you get is pressing shift tan of, oops, that doesn't go in there. It looks like this, tan to the -1 of 15 over 7. Okay, 2b. Let's have a look. Angle, hypotenuse, because it's opposite the right angle, and this looks like it's adjacent to that angle, and opposite sides here. Adjacent, hypotenuse, that's a cos question. So the cos of theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. And so you do the shift, cos, and in the brackets you put that fraction. Okay, part C. I'll do part C over here. Oh wait, I'll do it here. 2C. Again, finding the angle. And there's the opposite side, which is blank. We have adjacent side and the hypotenuse. That's cos again. Adjacent hypotenuse. So you'd have to do this. Shift and cos, adjacent over hypotenuse on a calculator. Okay. Question 3. Always good to do a diagram, so let's do one. Word question. Top of a cliff of 300 metres. So we've got a boat, so we're going to have some water. Cliff. And that distance there, let's put it in red, from the water to the top of the cliff is 300 metres. Okay, so from all the, oh, that's going to confuse it. From the top of the cliff to the water is 300 metres. From the trick, Renee, so Renee's up here somewhere, observes the boat at a distance of 1.3 kilometres. Okay, I don't think I can do this to scale, but you get the idea. A boat. I'll do a boat. Sails, a boat in the water. And this distance here is the 1.3 k's. From the boat to the cliff. Yep, that's what it says. Distance to from the base of the cliff, which is here, to the boat, 1.3 k's. Find, correct to the nearest degree, the angle of depression. Okay, so Renee, looking out and down, we'll be looking at that sort of direction to see the boat. And so we have the angle of depression is the angle from the if you look straight ahead, this angle here, which is actually the same as that angle there. That angle, we're going to find that angle, which is the same as that angle. So how do we do it? Well, let's go with that angle there is going to be the same as that one. So whenever you get a question like this, a boat out from a cliff, angle of depression is that, which is the same as the angle from the boat up to the top of the cliff. Same angle. We've got an angle here, an opposite side. That's the right angle. So that little line of sight is the hypotenuse. And that's the adjacent side, adjacent, opposite. Adjacent, opposite, that's tan. So the tan of the angle we want equals, now I'm going to put these in the same units. It doesn't matter which, I'll do meters I think. Opposite side first, and that's, yeah, you've got to put them in the same unit. 1.3 k's is 1300 meters, and that'll give you what the angle is. But you've got to remember we're finding an angle, so it's shift and tan. That'll give you that angle there. Thank you, everyone.